y minus, what is our y2? A negative 2, right? Is equal to, what's our slope? 1. 1 times x minus, what is our x2? Negative 1 right there. You see how I'm just doing this color coded so that you will see what's going on. What happens when you're subtracting a negative? Positive. There you go. Boom. You add them, right? So therefore we have y plus 2 is equal to 1 times x is, because remember, what property are we using right here? Distributive. Distributive, yes. Boom. Boom. Okay? 1 times x is 1x. 1 times 1, 1. Right? Right? Now, let's subtract this 2 to the other side. Subtract the 2 to the other side, right? That cancels out. Y is equal to 1x. What's positive 1 minus 2? Negative 1. This is your slope intercept form. Okay? Slope intercept form. We good so far? Now, we need to change this into standard form, okay? Standard form. The easiest way for us to do this, okay? Just take whatever your x is and add or subtract it to the other side. What kind of 1x is that? Positive. What's the opposite of a positive? Negative. So we're going to subtract this 1x to the other side. You can't necessarily combine the x and the y right there, so let's just make sure the x goes first. So we have a negative 1x plus 1y is equal to a negative 1. Now, this is why I chose this problem, and this is why I chose to do this first, because this is very important right here. If you notice, and I'm gonna only apply this rule to Algebra 2 because Algebra 1 kids aren't gonna be doing this, okay? In Algebra 2, with Algebra 1 kids, they're gonna be given their standard equation, okay? But y'all have to find it. Your AX has to be positive, okay? I'm gonna repeat that. Your AX has to be positive. If it is not positive, if you have a negative right there in front of your A, you must either multiply or divide a negative 1 on both sides, okay? So, in you doing this, you multiply or divide a negative 1 on both sides, okay? Multiply a negative 1 by the whole thing, okay? If your A is a negative, and that way, it just changes out all the sides, and it makes sure that the A is a positive, okay? And that way, negative 1 times all of that, just flip all the signs, okay? So therefore, your standard form, your standard form will be 1x minus 1y is equal to a positive 1. Okay? Because you're multiplying negative 1 by the whole equation, just so that you can make your AX positive. Matter of fact, let me put a star next to that. When your AX is negative, multiply the whole equation by a negative 1. to make your AX positive. Okay? This is very important. Make sure you write this down. All right? That way you'll know. 4 or 5. Let's 5. Okay. Let's do 5. Number 3 is easy because you're just going to come out with y equal to 0. So you're just going to come out with a vertical line. Okay? So just understand that y is equal to 2 because, you know, when you have a vertical line, your slope is undefined, okay? When you have a vertical line, your slope is undefined. When you have a horizontal line, your slope is 0, okay? Undefined meaning your x's down at the bottom are equal to 0. And nothing can be divided by 0, okay? You cannot have 0 in your denominator spot. If your 0 is in the numerator spot, yes, your slope will be 0, and then you'll just have a horizontal line. Vertical line is undefined, okay? So that's why you'll find out when you work on 3. All right, number 5, real quick. Whew. Everybody got all that down? Cool. All right, so number 5, you have 0, 1, and 4 and -4. All right. Do I have to label it for y'all? Would it help? Maybe for the kids at home, right?
It wouldn't hurt.
Gotcha. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Okay? We're gonna, Crucifer, pick one. Which one you want to do?
Y2, Y1.
Y2, Y1. Okay, so we're going to do Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Okay? Therefore, we're going to start with these ones. -4 minus 1. Continue.
Oh, okay. 0 minus 4.
No.
4 minus
4 minus 0.
4 minus 0. Thank you. What is -4 minus 1?
-5
-5.
over 4.
-5 over 4, okay? This is our slope. All right, so which one of these will be easiest to plug into your point slope? X1, Y1 or X2, Y2?
X1, Y1.
There we go. So, PS, point slope. Y minus, what is our Y1? 1 is equal to a -5 over 4, 5 over 4 times x minus 0, right? Now, here is how you do this, okay? Well, there are many renditions of how to work with a slope right here, where you have a fraction, okay? I just find this to be the easiest way for me, or you know, how I taught my 10-year-old daughter, you know, or how I conversed with her about this. The easiest way for you to look at this is if you take your denominator, right? Take your denominator and just multiply it onto the other side. Okay? What you do on one side, you must do on the other. Okay? Multiply it. Boom. So now you're looking at 4, parenthesis, y minus 4. Oh, sorry, y minus 1. I multiplied it, multiplied it already. Equal to a well, let's take that negative with it. Let's take that negative with it. No, let's keep the negative so that we won't have to multiply the end by a -1.
Why did you put parentheses in parentheses?
Huh?
Why did you put 2 parentheses?
Oh, because at first this was the -5/4 multiplied by x minus o, and then I just multiplied 4 times the whole thing just so that these can cancel out. You notice that? So I'm left with a -5 parenthesis x minus 0. You see that? Y'all see that? In order for me to just get rid of the denominator, I just multiplied the denominator on both sides. Now you're just working with, 2 distributive properties on either side of the equal sign. Okay? So we have 4y minus 4 is equal to -5x. I would just say plus 0, right? Or just -5x. You can put plus 0. You don't necessarily have to. Just put -5x. All right? Cool so far? Add that 4 to the other side. Right? We have 4y equal to a -5x plus 4, right? And then we add this 5x to the other side. That way, it'll be 5x. Finish the rest. 5x.
Equals 4.
Mm-mm.
No. Or plus 4y equals 4.
Okay? We good so far? Y'all good? It's just a lot of repetition, but you're doing the same exact thing. Start with your point slope, then you gradually make it down to your slope intercept right here, and then all you do is either add or subtract your x to the other side. If you end up subtracting your x to the other side, you know for a fact that you're going to multiply the entire equation by a -1 just to make it a positive, okay? Okay. Practice. Practice, practice, practice.